so loud.
I was gonna say, can you? My old ears cannot handle it.
This is like whenever the stars would come on, like Kerry Von Erich. Yeah. Michael P.S. Hayes.
Some super awesome, like late '80s, early '90s transitions.
Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to A Couple of Marks. I am Johnny Mark.
And I am DJ Mark.
And welcome to 2019, baby.
Starting it off strong here at A Couple of Marks.
We took a little time off because we had a holiday hangover, and we are fresh and ready like daisies.
Ready for what exactly?
The Royale Rumble, maybe with some cheese.
A Royale Rumble,
as they say
cheese?
In France.
They say that. I don't think that's true.
You don't think that's true?
I don't think that's true.
You don't. I mean, have you been to France?
I've never watched. No, I've never watched the French feed of the WWE.
Oh no, neither have I.
I mean, we could though.
I wouldn't
It's
understand.
on the net. Well, but we would. They said Royale with. They said Royale Rumble. So
We would have like a future Hall of Famer and one of the Rougeau brothers in there.
What's the other?
The Mountie.
Is it him or the other?
Well, no, the Mountie's not the. He's not the commentator. It's the other
That's
Rougeau.
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, what else? What has been going on?
A lot.
Yeah, I feel like since we haven't had a show in like over a month.
Yeah, basically.
We've
missed quite a bit.
Over a month.
I mean, we haven't we've missed talking about it.
I mean, we missed Finn Balor becoming the number one contender.
I really hope. I don't think it's going to happen because
no, he's going to lose.
Yes, but then who's going to face? I mean, you know what? We could talk about this again later when our Royal Rumble talks. But who would Brock Lesnar then face at WrestleMania?
Who gives a shit?
As long as he drops the belt, that's all I care about.
It's going to be Roman Reigns.
He's a surprise 29th entrant in the Royal Rumble tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard he's doing a movie. He's doing a movie with The Rock.
He looks fine. But I mean, I don't know how much.
I've also Dave Meltzer also said that like
Uncle Dave
was like, hey, they all Elite boys are paying me to push stories. That's also a rumor out there that they've got Meltzer in their pocket.
I do wonder how much he does get paid from certain people, and how much he then turns around and pays other people.
I bet he has to pay other people. I mean, come on, they work for the WWE. They don't make enough money. Oh,
hey!
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm sure they make good. I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah, they're just not on TV. Looking at you, Mike. I was going to call him Mike Bennett, but I can call him Mike Bennett. That was one of his gimmicks.
It's true. I mean, I've seen him.
In fact, I think that's his name, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's his given birth name.
Is it his given birth name?
I'm just going to say it is.
That's a slippery
Kanellis,
slope, man.
Why wouldn't you take your wife's name?
Well, no, I'm not about that. I'm saying it's a slippery slope to be like, I'm going to say that it is.
In today's society, I can
prove
say
me
something.
wrong.
Yeah, prove me wrong. And then I will be like, no, you're a liar. Fake news.
So we've got apparently a competitor of some sort, a new entrant into the world of professional wrestling.
There is a fourth option now, or fifth.
Well, there's like a 257th option now.
All right.
There are a lot of options.
There's a brand new wrestling company.
There is a brand new wrestling company that is not as big as it's. I would say it's probably like Ring of Honor, Impact,
at
that sort of thing.
On their level of stardom.
Currently.
Yes, they are backed by another billionaire.
I think,
or a couple billionaires.
I think if they are able to get a TV deal and they are starting to have regular shows, then yes, then you can start. I don't even know. Even then, you can't even talk about them as a true competitor for the WWE because fucking TNA was on TV forever.
And they were not a competitor.
Sometimes, yeah, exactly. Even like when they were going head to head with them, they were getting crushed.
Right.
Like it was like the people that watched TNA were wrestling fans that had DVRs, so that they could DVR. The ones who watched it live, the ones that so they could watch Raw later and be like, "I'm going to watch TNA to help them out."
Well, the problem that TNA really had was the fact that they did, in fact, try to go head to head with WWE. Don't do it. You had a 6-sided ring. You had
they got rid of that shortly after.
Exactly, which is dumb. because then people are like, what the hell is this? A 6-sided ring? I'm sure it's awkward as hell to work in, but it sets you apart. It makes you different. Also, your X division makes you different.
Well, I mean, that's what we liked about. I didn't necessarily love the 6-sided ring or anything, but I didn't hate it either.
Right.
I thought I was gonna hate it, but I was just like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Also, I'd been watching some AAA around the time, and I think they had also had a 6-sided ring. At least I saw a 6-sided cage. I believe it one of those crazy Triple Manias.
Spot Festamanias.
That's what almost all AAA.
Yeah, that's what Lucha Libre really is.
At least that's what I felt like it was. I don't think it's that way anymore. I think there's a lot more. I watched part of the last Triple Mania, and even though the end angle was between Conan and Vampiro, which I don't know why.
Are we in the early 90s?
Right. Jeff Jarrett was in the ring.
Again, my question stands. Are we in the...
I'll repeat the question.
Yeah. Mid to early 90s, please. For 1,000.
I don't know, maybe because David Arquette's a fucking legit wrestler now.
Oh, yeah, his hardcore match was amazing. His NWA match, from what I hear, was great. I don't know.
Good for that guy.
I mean, he's actually training to be a better wrestler.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if you listen to the Stone Cold podcast.
I don't listen to any podcast,
Okay,
not even
good.
this one.
Fair enough. You're not missing anything.
I know. I lived it.
But he was saying how he actually is going through the training and going through all the steps and trying to learn psychology, and he's loving it. Which is ironic because he was a former world heavyweight champion, and now he's trying to learn how to be a better wrestler.
Now he's a green rookie.
About 20 years later.
After he was a world champ.
Oh. What about 15 years? I don't know. Whatever
Mikey
year that was.
Whipwreck sort of situation. It was like 1990.
No, Whipwreck was
2000.
He was setting up the ring, and then he became.
I know that, but his gimmick was that he sucked. And
that's true.
But although did he ever? I think he was a world champion.
Yeah, I don't know about world champion. He was definitely a tag team champion.
I know that, but I'm pretty sure he was a world champion too.
All right, well, you keep talking.
I'm going to go ahead and say yes, he was.
All right. Hold on.
And I don't even care.
Mikey.
I don't even care what the truth is. I'm just going to
that
say.
picture of him is not good. Oh, I don't know who Mikey Way is, but that is not who I wanted.
I think Mikey Way is from the band My Chemical Romance. I wish I didn't know that.
Oh, my goodness. Mikey Whipwreck is a large fella.
Oh, goodness, Mikey Whipwreck. He was always kind of a... he wasn't
does
ever in
Border
shape.
City Wrestling count?
No.
Okay.
He didn't win the... What titles did he win?
I'm sorry.
at
He
EC?
was an ECW heavyweight champion. You're right.
Yes.
He was also a 3-time tag team champion.
Yeah, but everyone was I was a 3-time tag team champion in ECW.
Yeah, but 2 times with Cactus Jack and 1 time with Tajiri. I loved them as a tag team.
I did too. I thought that it was a great... Although I never watched Mikey Whipwreck. I didn't watch ECW in 95. I didn't see all of that until after I had seen Mikey Whipwreck as Tajiri's tag team partner with the Sinister Minister.
Love the Sinister Minister.
Me too. I love him.
now.
Did you know, speaking of the Sinister Minister, let's segue completely.
Okay, tell me more.
Abyss and Sonja Dutt are apparently going to WWE.
Yeah. They might be up here tonight.
And you know what's crazy? Why?
Right.
This should have happened 10 years ago.
Yes. With Abyss, for sure.
Absolutely. I don't want to see Abyss in the WWE. I mean, I don't care. It's whatever. I love to see all wrestlers wrestle everywhere.
Right.
So.
Well, my question is, how much longer does Abyss really have? And how much of his gimmick will they allow in WWE, because they don't really do hardcore wrestling
Also,
anymore.
his gimmick is Kane's gimmick. Almost.
Basically.
Except big man in a mask who's scary.
If you were
with a weird backstory.
If Kane and early Mankind had a baby, it would be Abyss.
That's what they're doing. They're going to do the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, versus what's it?
Abyss?
Joseph Park, I think is his name.
Yeah,
that's
Park.
his real name.
Yeah.
And he also wrestles like that sometimes.
Exactly.
So.
And he can't get around as well. So I'm curious how this is all really going to work.
Whatever.
Maybe a one-off.
Maybe what they meant. Maybe all they meant by that was they're coming to the WWE for a one-shot deal at Royal Rumble.
I mean, they never said he was going to wrestle. He could be an agent.
He could. That's fair.
They need more.
Yeah, because they're opening up brands like fucking Chick-fil-A franchises.
Except they work on Sundays.
They do.
Uh-huh.
What else do we want to talk about before we jump into what is one of my... Actually, I would say the Royal Rumble is my favorite gimmick match the WWE has ever done.
I could see that, yeah.
Because, like I told you earlier, even when it's bad, it's okay.
It's true, because...
Except when there's 40 people. That's just too many.
I mean, they were trying too hard. At least they didn't try to put, 3 rings together like World War III. That was terrible.
I don't think I ever watched a World War III.
I've never watched
or
one.
Battle Royal or whatever they called it.
I'm sure they called it a battle royal.
The World War III Battle Royal.
WWE's the only one who calls it a Royal Rumble.
Because
Even though there's no real kings except for like Booker and maybe
a
Macho
Royale
King.
Rumble.
Yeah, exactly.
The French WWE commentators.
We could talk about how former
How was Takeover?
Takeover Phoenix was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Top to bottom. Started out with your new NXT Tag Team Champions, War Raiders.
War Raiders.
Went over clean too.
That's because they're big dudes.
I'm
And
curious.
he's got that marriage. He's got that fucking marriage. Wait, that was Killian Dane, wasn't it? That got married.
No. Oh, he got engaged with Nikki Cross. No. He did. Rowan, was it Rowan Hansen or Rowan? Rowan, I think. Yeah, we'll say Rowan. Okay, we'll say Rowan. He got married to what's her face from the Riot Squad.
Yeah, it was like a Viking wedding. It's
yeah.
It's not Liv Morgan and it's not Ruby Riott. It's the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
Sarah. Was that her name?
Yeah, it's Sarah. Son of a
Logan.
bitch. Yeah.
Sarah Paul. Ron Paul. Rand Paul. It's Rand Paul.
Is it Rand Paul?
It's Rand Paul. United
About
States
time.
Senator Rand Paul is the 4th member of the Riot Squad. He's like, being a senator is not as much fun as he thought it would be.
I mean, you have to jump out of your
He misses
dad's
the game.
shadow at some point.
Mm-hmm. Even though he was a much higher position than his dad ever got to.
Why are we? This is
You're not very good at researching. I may have to read.
not on the fly. No, apparently
You
not.
gotta get good at it.
Apparently, I'm sorry.
Why can't Alexa? Who is in the Riot Squad?
Yeah, let's see how that works out. David Bowie, huh? I didn't know that was happening.
Okay, let's try this again. Well, maybe we can get Alexa as like a featured spot.
Or a piece of crap.
Alexa, who is in WWE's Riot Squad?
The people or things that are Riot Squad's cast members include Richard Cromwell, John Million, Arthur Space, and Forrest Taylor.
Did you say Neil Young?
To see more, check out the Alexa app.
This is not.
Sarah Logan, you were right.
All right, I was right the whole time, and Alexa is not. It'll get there, though.
It's good to know that
in its
Neil
infancy.
Young was in the Riot Squad. I didn't know that.
And David Bowie.
And David
apparently.
Bowie.
I wonder if these are different Riot Squads. Has
Well,
the
I'm gonna have to
WWE
look it
looked
up.
into this? Is this a law? No, don't look it up.
Well,
You take too
it's
long.
Riot with 2 T's in WWE, so maybe that's
how they got around it.
Uh-huh. That's how they got around it.
So I can call myself the WWWE, and that'll be cool.
Yeah, without a
The
doubt.
Worldwide Wrestling Entertainment.
All day.
I don't think that's how copyright law works. I mean, maybe in China, they probably let me
Well, they don't
do
give a
it.
shit about copyrights over there.
They'll be like, yeah, great. What's a copyright?
Yeah. But back here in North America, we have a new champion for North America, and his name is Johnny Takeover, Johnny Gargano.
Look at that, man.
Clean victory on that one, too.
Good for him for...
Finally winning a big one.
Yeah, he just loses a lot.
He does.
But now that he's a heel, he has to win, I guess.
Well, yeah. And then, speaking of him being a heel, he came out at the end of the show after Tommaso Ciampa successfully retained his title, and they both held their titles up together.
DIY's got all the gold.
They are. But then the show went off the air, but the show didn't stop going. Because after it went off the air, Velveteen Dream confronted them, and then Adam Cole came out, and then Ricochet come out. We got a giant shove match going on.
Yeah, I heard, but in the way they're playing it, like Triple H was like, that wasn't supposed to happen.
It looked great, and it went all the way in Gorilla, so I'm pretty sure it was supposed to happen.
Yeah, I agree, but like, Triple H is over here like going, that was not, whoa.
Right.
Hey, look, don't con a con man, okay?
Uh-huh.
I know what you're doing over there. You're
Kayfabe-
trying to work me, and
Yeah.
it's fine. I'm okay with
I
it.
get it. I mean, it's all the work, so kayfabe lives in 2019.
Well, I mean, it should, because otherwise wrestling is not fun.
No. I like being surprised.
Exactly. Well, not only that, but obviously, like, you suspend belief. Like, come on. In real life, do you really think Finn Balor has a fucking chance against Brock Lesnar?
No.
I've seen Brock Lesnar real fight.
Yeah.
He would kill Finn Balor.
I've heard many stories of him he doesn't like people at all, so I think he would just kill him for fun.
Yeah.
And then probably...
That's probably how he got diverculitis. He's hunting humans.
Mm-hmm. You can't eat